Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. You all having a good time tonight? Good, great. Guys, we're here for the next portion of the evening now. We're getting to the speeches, everyone's favourite. We've got 3 speeches tonight. We're going to start off with John Sadler, father of the bride. Then go to Dave for the groom's speech. And then finally, to close us out, it'll be the best men, both myself and Sam over there. So if you could put your hands together, please. We're going to hand things
traditional at these occasions. So I'll start by saying good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and all our distinguished guests. On behalf of Margaret and Dave's parents, Graham and Joe, can I first say how delighted I am to welcome all our friends and relatives of both families to gather with us in the celebration of the marriage of Dave and Natalie. Some of you have travelled quite a distance to be with us today. We have a family and friends from as far away as America, Bahrain, France and South Africa, and probably many other places that I'm not aware of. And of course, the whole of the UK, including our Scottish cousins and relatives and fantastic kilts. So I just want to say thank you once again for travelling and being with us. It means a lot to all of us. I'm very proud today to be standing here as the father of the bride, as Natalie is looking absolutely stunning. Margaret and I are equally delighted to have 2 wonderful daughters in both Natalie and Olivia. We have had some very memorable times together as a family, and we are proud of the fact that the girls have always been close and remain so today. As parents, we are very proud of both of them. I remember the day when Natalie was born well, it was that day. It was very hot, like it is today actually. And Margaret was feeling great in the morning, and I rushed into work in London. I was working with a company called Dan Air at the time. And when I'd gone in on the tube and got to the office in London Bridge, I arrived there to be received with a message saying, "Margaret's phoned, can you please hurry up and go home?" So my boss, who was quite wise at the time, grabbed me and said, "I'd sit down and have a cup of tea if I was you. It's going to be some time yet before anything happens." But I didn't actually listen to the advice. I just turned round and ran straight home. And I got there in time to take Margaret to the hospital. With hindsight, I could have had a cup of tea. For a first baby though, Natalie did not hang around for too long, and she was born at 5:25 in the evening. The reason I mention this, Dave, is to let you know that it's an early indication that this is a girl who is fast, decisive and very focused when she wants something. As many of you know, Margaret and I are Christians, and we have always tried to pass on the values that we have and we live onto both of our daughters. We've always encouraged them to be open and honest and engaged, and to enjoy a relationship with a loving God who has never let us down. We are thrilled that they have both found and developed that relationship with God that is based on the knowing that Jesus has invited them to walk in their lives. This is just as well now, especially as Natalie's going to become a pastor's wife. So we give thanks to God for the family love that we share. Natalie, I'm privileged to say that you have given us many happy memories. Mostly we've laughed. Sometimes on the odd occasion we've had to cry together. But through every situation you have made us very happy and proud parents. In racking my thoughts as to what I could say today, it bears testament to your kindred spirit and the sense of joy in all that you do. Basically, it reminded me that you are one of these people in life that other people just like to be with because they enjoy your company. And of course, in thinking about a few things, there were some things that I thought might need to be shared today. The first thought I had was that I would refer to the ambitious and competitive nature that we thought Natalie would grow up with. As the proud parents of her first school sports day, at sort of age 4 or 5 probably, she was selected to participate in the first race of her life, and it was in the 80-yard dash. My vision in taking her up to school that morning was to see her come flying down the track in first position, thereby displaying some of the characteristics that her father had. Well, what actually happened was quite different. Natalie thoroughly enjoyed the race. She sauntered down the track, waving and smiling to everybody that she knew. Clearly, she is a people person rather than a competitor, and we have grown to love her for this wonderful nature that she displays in wanting to help other people. Natalie has been known to be slightly accident prone. Doug and Jane Ann, who are with us from Indiana, and Doug gave grace for us so well at lunchtime. When we were, and I can't remember how old you were, but somewhere 6 or 8 years old, I suppose, maybe a bit older, we all went to the Lake District. Doug and Jane Ann got the experience, because he was driving, of driving on some very narrow roads. But we went as a family, 2 families, on a boat trip. And it was a boat going round the lake, and it was quite a big boat. And as it came into the resting place where we were going to disembark, Natalie thought she would help the captain dock the boat. So she put her hand out to try and stop it hitting the wall. Well, her hand and the thumb on her hand got caught between the boat and the jetty. So we were then had to spend an anxious few hours when we went to A&E to get it checked out. Thankfully, it was only badly bruised, though. I'm sure you probably remember that incident. Then there was another occasion when, as a lifelong Middlesbrough supporter, that's me, I'd had this dream of seeing my team go to Wembley and play in an FA Cup final for over 35 years or 40 years. And my dream came to realisation when it happened, and they were due to go to Wembley to play Chelsea on the 17th of May 1997. So I got everything ready in our house, made sure the TV was working, got myself a quiet drink, prepared to put my feet up in front of the television, and about 8 minutes before the kick-off, when I was just settling down properly to see the biggest game that Middlesbrough has ever had, Natalie decided to come running downstairs, lost her footing and slipped. The result was that we found her at the bottom of the stairs, and we ended up calling an ambulance, and within 15 minutes we were on the way to Wexham Park Hospital. Well, we were worried about you, and we did spend some time there getting you checked out. But the good thing was that it was probably better that I didn't see the game, because Middlesbrough lost by 2-0. She is a very determined lady, though, and we were very proud of her again when she raised the funding for a trip to go off on a World Challenge trip to Borneo. She went trekking through the jungle, seeing the orangutans and helping to build a toilet block in a community project. Travel has been very important to Natalie, and she's probably travelled more than her mum and dad, in fact. It's been part of her education, from visiting her Auntie Sue, who's with us today, and her cousins in Bahrain, to exploring various new territories and going on short-term mission trips in far-off places, or making visits to be with friends. And Jude, I don't know where you are, and Esther, but I know Natalie's really enjoyed travelling to spend time with you in far-off places. Another example of this was visiting Esther in New Zealand, and then a few years ago when she went to be bridesmaid for Charlotte, when she was asked, and then realised she was in New Zealand as well. As I have said, Margaret and I are very proud of you, Natalie. To us, you are intelligent, confident and hugely caring. Your nature is a quality that is not geared to material things, but she has a special quality that one of her first teachers said to us: if you could bottle her nature, you would be very rich people. And that is that she loves getting to know people. She loves spending time with people, and she has a personality that attracts people to her. And we love you for that. So what can I say about Dave? Well, I'm actually going to leave most of that to the two best men. And we're looking forward to hearing from you later, guys. I'm sure you're going to tell us lots of good things. But don't worry, I'm sitting next to Dave's mum, so I'll keep her under control. It's okay. What I will say is that Margaret and I are really pleased to welcome Dave as our second son-in-law. He is a person who has real faith in God, and together they will form a formidable partnership that will help each other face the bumps in the road that sometimes we come up against. Dave is a hugely talented pastor, and they both have a heart for people and wanting to walk in the life that God has led them into. Traditionally, I should offer you both some advice on marriage. This is potentially dangerous territory, so I thought I'd leave it to Malcolm this morning. What I would say, though, is that marriage is an important commitment. It needs patience, compromise, and Margaret and I should know, because we've been compromising with each other for years. Another thing I can say is that marriage is a 50-50 split. It is a partnership. You need to put each other first, and you will not go far wrong. So I wish you fun and excitement for today, hopes and dreams for tomorrow, and love and happiness for a lifetime spent together. And on that note, my last task for this afternoon is to propose a toast, to the most important couple today. So if I can ask you to be upstanding with me, please. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the bride and groom. Thank you.